Welcome back, Gatemen fans. We're about to get Game 2 of the doubleheader started in just a few moments. For the Gatemen starting tonight, making his first start of the year is Will Proctor from the University of Georgia, and we have our own Mary Orders who got to talk to him before his first big start today.
Thanks, guys. So, Will, this is your third appearance for the Gatemen first start. How are you feeling about today?
Very excited. With doubleheaders, it's tough because you don't want to stay focused the whole time. I know that's weird to say, but I kind of just watch the game, the first game, and then second game I obviously have to prepare for, so I'm excited.
How do you stay unfocused, would you say, during that first game?
Just joking around in the bullpen. We'll talk. Most coaches allow that, so we'll just kind of hang out and not focus too much, but still obviously root for the team and stuff like that.
And what have you been working on since your last outing for the Gatemen?
Command. Coach Lawler is really helping me with my mechanics and making the transition. I've only been throwing for a year, so making the transition from infield to pitching and kind of just throwing like a shortstop, so that's definitely helped with command.
What are some mechanics like that you're working on?
I kind of have a tendency to lean back when I throw, and that he always uses the analogy of shooting a gun. So if you're shooting a gun and you're leaned back, you're shooting straight up in the air, so it's all over the target, and it's kind of hit or miss in the strike zone. So as long as I keep my shoulders square, it'll be much more around the zone.
And what's your favorite pitch that you throw?
My curveball. So Coach Laurel and I have really been working on that, the consistency of it. It tends to move a lot, so I know this sounds weird, but making it move less and kind of tighter, but it's definitely my favorite pitch, yeah.
And what are some of your goals moving forward onto the rest of the summer?
Like I said, command, and then Coach Lawler is actually helping me with a little cutter, so that's kind of nice too. But really just throwing all my pitches within the strike zone and not having 4-pitch walks and stuff like that.
Has it been nice having a new perspective from a new coach?
Oh, for sure. Coach Lawler's awesome. It's little things. Just like my pitching coach at school, he's great, but he sees me every day, so he kind of gets used to what I'm doing, but a new fresh set of eyes can kind of see some glaring deficiencies.
Thanks so much, Will. Guys, back to you.
Yeah, thanks.
You.
Fourth, the left fielder.
Thank you, Mary, for that. We are about to get things started in just a few moments. In Game 2 of the doubleheader between the Wareham Gatemen and the Yarmouth-Dennis Red Sox, Gatemen taking Game 1 10-4, and alongside me is J.D. Rachi. J.D., just an outburst for the Gatemen in the middle of that game.
Yeah, what else is new? Andrew Vaughn had an excellent day for himself. Really, just the entire Gatemen lineup looked really good in this game. And you also got to blame a little bit of the offense on the YD fielding. Christian Koss with 2 errors, 3 errors on the day, 4 YD, so 10 runs come across the score for the Gatemen, but only 5 of them were earned runs against the YD pitching staff. The defense really struggled for the Red Sox in game number 1.
And it got a little hairy, though. Gatemen up 8-0, and after we had to take a considerable delay after an injured umpire had to be replaced. We are going to only have 2 umpires for the second game. The Red Sox did make a run at it against Cody Carroll. They scored 4 unanswered to cut that lead in half from 8-4, and then the Gatemen powering with 2 more runs home in their half of the 7th. And ultimately take it 10-4 and bump up their record to 9-4 in the 13-game season. And I've already taken one today from the red-hot Red Sox. We're going to bring you Game 2 of the doubleheader after these short messages here on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Batting 7th, the catcher.
Shop from home year-round on Gatemen.org. You can customize your Gatemen gear from any device, anywhere. We offer a large selection of apparel and unique gifts 24/7, 365. Hard to find sizes, colors, and styles. Youth Clinic registration is also available. Visit us today and remember us for holiday gifts at Gatemen.org. Cape Cod Healthcare is the leading provider of healthcare services for residents and visitors of Cape Cod, with 2 acute care hospitals and more than 450 physicians. For more information, please visit capecodhealth.org. Cape Cod Healthcare, expert physicians, quality hospitals, superior care.
Mezzaluna is a family-run Italian restaurant celebrating 80 years in business. Located on Main Street in Buzzards Bay, Mezzaluna specializes in Italian cuisine, a lunch menu that's the best deal in town, and serves Cape Cod's famous prime rib every Wednesday and Saturday. Come enjoy the feast at Mezzaluna, the Italian family restaurant.
Welcome back to Red Wilson Field, home of the YD Red Sox. Game number 2 about to get underway in this doubleheader today for the Wareham Gatemen and the Yarmouth-Dennis Red Sox. Hi, everybody. Welcome into the Gatemen Baseball Network. Alongside Cam Stewart, I'm JD Rachi. We'll be bringing you this second of a twin bill. And as Cam mentioned before the break, a 10-4 win for the Gatemen in game number 1, and it will be much the same lineup for Wareham today against the left-hander Tommy Henry from Michigan. Jeremy Idens, the right fielder from UCLA, will lead it off, followed by Sahid Valenzuela, the second baseman from Cal State Fullerton. Andrew Vaughn DHing in this game after a 3-for-4 day in game number 1. Then Brian Packard from ECU, the left fielder. Austin Shenton, the third baseman from FIU. Michael Amditis, the catcher from Miami, bats 6th. Batting 7th from Austin Peay, the first baseman today, Parker Phillips. Ryan Kreidler at short from UCLA, batting 8th. And batting 9th, Skylar Hunter, the switch-hitting center fielder from Purdue. They will be opposed by the left-hander on the mound for YD, making his Cape Cod Baseball League debut, I should say, Tommy Henry, the 6'3", 190-pound left-hander from Michigan. The first pitch from the tall lefty to Jeremy Idens, called strike on the inner half, and we're underway in game number 2. First pitch at 5:44. 0-1 the count to Jeremy Idens. Here comes the pitch from the left-hander. Swung on, fouled off, 0-2.
Interesting to see what we're going to see from Henry today. I've not seen him obviously in the league making his debut, but a real top-of-the-line pitcher for the Wolverines this year in 15 starts, 7-3 with an ERA just over 3 at 3.09. Not a big strikeout guy, but hitters hitting just .235 against him during the regular season.
He's got Jeremy Idens here, 0-2, the pitch. Swung on, he did go around, dropped third strike. Apparently he didn't. It looked like the home plate umpire signaled he did. On the second appeal down to the first base umpire, he said he did not go around. So now the count is a ball and 2 strikes to Jeremy Idens.
Sorry, JD. You always look for the point there from the home plate umpire when a guy goes around like that. And as you said, that was given. And then the appeal down saves Idens.
The 1-2, this one, though, definitely swung on and missed. Nice breaking ball in the dirt. Chased out of the zone by Idens. The first strikeout of the day for Tommy Henry. And there's one gone for Sahid Valenzuela.
Did I say he wasn't much of a strikeout guy? My bad. 77 Ks in 81 2/3 innings, so not stellar, not bad, but gets a good way to start it here in game number 2.
Sahid Valenzuela digs in, the switch hitter batting right here against Henry. Didn't play in game number 1, but had himself a heck of a day last night in the win over Brewster. First pitch to him today is a strike called on the inner half, 0-1. Valenzuela 4 for 7 on the season now, a home run yesterday. 2 hits, 3 runs scored, all 3 Gatemen runs coming across the plate thanks to Sahid Valenzuela. Big lefty swings, or a big lefty pitches home. 0-1 is fouled off, 0-2.
And Valenzuela's looked very comfortable at the plate coming in after a couple weeks off after his Fullerton season ended. He has not missed a beat, has not looked slow on anything so far.
Big kick in the pitch from the left-hander Henry in the dirt before it got to the plate, 1-2. Andrew Vaughn on deck, the big DH from Cal. Getting the game off in the field, but of course you want to use his bat for as long as he is here. Ball and 2 strikes, winds and fires, swung on, hit toward the third baseman Andrew Martinez. Couple of hops, his throw pulls Valenzuela, or pulls, Dashbach off the bag. Tried to swipe Valenzuela on the way by, but it'll be an infield reaching base. It'll probably go as an error on a throwing error from Andrew Martinez, E5. And now a runner on at first base and 1 out for Andrew Vaughn.
Yeah, this looked like a real harmless play from Martinez down there at third, but he was never quite comfortable in how he was going to approach it. He kept backing up on it, finally comes forward, and didn't need to rush the throw, but it is that long throw third to first, and just didn't have it on target. Good error call. That's still a pretty routine play.
First pitch to Andrew Vaughn, misses outside, 1-0 to the big right-hander. 3 for 4 in game number 1. Home run and a 2-run bomb. Straight away center field. He absolutely mashed that home run. Henry comes set out of the stretch, the 1-0. Swung on, looped foul down the left field line, and it'll be 1-1. Ball and a strike to Andrew Vaughn. Sahid Valenzuela with speed on at first, being held on by Andrew Dashbach. Henry comes set, belt tie, black glove in the 1-1. Called strike, inner half, 1-2.
Similar to the pitch Vaughn saw before that he was well out in front of, but was expecting. Gets that same fastball right in the inside corner there. See if he goes to it again and tries to challenge Vaughn with 2 strikes.
1-2, 1 out. Valenzuela at first. Now a throw over, quick pickoff attempt, but Valenzuela back in headlong with no tag.
Henry tries one of those dicey moves that lefties will pull off. He doesn't really step off the rubber too much. Just moves one leg and will throw from his set position over to first base. Almost a flick over there.
And now they'll have Valenzuela caught in a rundown. He slides in, but he has meat at second base.
And Don Snedden's going to come out and try to argue a balk here. It's that similar move. He's got to step off the rubber to throw over. And Don Snedden just trying to make sure he did. It's very similar to the first pickoff throw. So if he doesn't get the call that time, it's hard to imagine he would get it the second opportunity.
So the put out will be 1-3-6. 1-3-6 on the put out of Sahid Valenzuela. And now 2 outs and the base runner erased. A 1-2 count to Andrew Vaughn.
They're actually going to argue that his foot was coming forward in a pitching motion, is what Coach Jim Lawler was yelling about. That would also constitute a balk.
The 1-2 from the lefty, swung on and roped into right center field, but the right fielder, Johnny DeLuca, has a beat on it the whole way and makes the catch for the final out of the inning. The Gatemen go 1-2-3 in an odd fashion here in the first. We're headed to the bottom half of the first inning. Will Proctor coming to the mound for the Gatemen, coming up on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Soft as a Grape has 10 retail locations on Cape Cod, so even when you're cheering on your Gatemen at any away games, stop into a Soft as a Grape store for the best Cape Cod products. Stores located in Falmouth, Mashpee, Woods Hole, Hyannis, Chatham, Provincetown, Edgartown, Oak Bluffs, and Vineyard Haven. From beach day to every day, Soft as a Grape has you covered.
Whatever your goals may be, Joe Crespi and the Merrill Lynch of Taunton will work with you to develop a customized financial strategy designed to help you pursue what's important to you. Managing your wealth and listening to you is their top priority. Folks, after the game, be sure to visit El Mariachi on Main Street for the best Mexican food in Wareham. The cantina provides a delicious late-night snack accompanied by fun cocktails.
Scoreless ball game in the bottom of the first inning from Red Wilson Field. Gatemen and the YD Red Sox playing the second game of a doubleheader. The YD Red Sox line up very similarly to how they did in game number 1. Zach Ashford, the center fielder from Fresno State, will lead it off. Christian Koss playing second base from UC Irvine, in the 2-hole. Andrew Dashbach, the first baseman from Stamford, the big burly first baseman, will hit third. In the cleanup spot, Quinn Cotton DHing now, played left field in game number 1. He is from Grand Canyon University. Reese Albert now moving over to left field from Florida State. He'll bat 5th. In the 6th hole, Johnny DeLuca, originally in the 9-hole in game number 1. He'll play right field from Oregon. Adam Kerner, the new catcher in game number 2 from San Diego, bats 7th. In the 8th hole, Luke Waddell, the shortstop from Georgia Tech. And batting 9th, Andrew Martinez, the third baseman from UC Santa Barbara. They'll be opposed by Will Proctor, the right-hander from Georgia, on the mound for the Gatemen. And Proctor has looked pretty good in his first couple of appearances with the Gatemen. 2 appearances thus far, a 3.86 ERA. The tall right-hander from UGA kicks and fires the first pitch to Zach Ashford. Called strike, inner half, 0-1. Ashford 2 for 3 with a run scored in game number 1 today. Also batting out of the leadoff spot in that one. Proctor out of the full windup, the 0-1. Low, 1-1.
Proctor, another one of these guys who pitches to contact, just 2 strikeouts in 4 2/3. Has walked 3 though and has given up 3 hits. So he's another one of those ground ball guys when he's going good anyway.
Ball and a strike. Proctor rocks back, kicks and fires. Fastball, called strike, outer half, 1-2. This season at Georgia, a pretty good year for him. 2.45 ERA, Gave up 19 hits in 25 2/3 innings. 12 runs. Only 7 of them earned, though. 12 walks and 25 Ks. 1-2, looping curveball, called strike 3. Nasty breaking ball from Will Proctor for out number 1 and strikeout number 1 of Game 2. Brought to you by Lang, Exia, Forrest, and Bullard, the official strikeout sponsor of the Wareham Gatemen.
All right, I'm done. I'm retiring from bringing up the strikeout numbers for pitchers. That's 0 for 2 to start this game, JD. I don't know if you were keeping track of that.
I was. Tommy Henry and Will Proctor both striking out the first batters they face. First pitch now to Christian Koss is hit on the ground, gloved by Shenton, and on to first, a big play. Diving stop from Austin Shenton. Christian Koss, like the first pitch he saw, hit it sharply. Shenton had to dive to a knee, popped out of his glove momentarily, but he recovered nicely. 5-3 on the putout, and there's quickly 2 gone for Andrew Dashbach.
This is all around a tough play for Shenton here because he's got to dive to keep it in front of him, but it's also not too far away, so he can't go full extension and takes it off one hop and does all he can just to keep it in front of him, just keeps it with that glove in front of his body and is able to make the strong throw across on a speedy Koss. So brilliant play all the way around for Shenton.
First pitch from Will Proctor to Andrew Dashbach is swung on and missed, and that breaking ball didn't get all the way to the plate. And Dashbach still took a big hack at it. It's 0-1. YD wearing different uniforms in game number 2. Still the white unis, but a different design. Red and blue down the sides, some piping along the numbers as well. The 0-1 pitch to Dashbach misses low. It's 1-1. The socks with the Cape Cod logo on the upper left breast on these uniforms. So socks written in script diagonally across Cape Cod, the outline on the upper left breast, the numbers in blue on the lower right breast. 1-1 out in front of another breaking ball, and it's 1-2. On the back, the numbers are blue outlined in red. As we mentioned, piping down the chest of the jersey and all the way down on either side where the buttons come across. Still white pants with red piping for YD. The 1-2 from Proctor. Waved on and missed. Big fastball. Strikeout number 2 brought to you by Lang, XFRs, and Bullard. And it's a quick bottom of the first inning for Will Proctor. He makes mincemeat of the YD Red Sox starting 1-2-3 punch. We're headed to the top of the second inning. No score between Wareham and YD here on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Learning at Curry College extends beyond the classroom and is embedded in all that they do. Curry prepares students to engage in successful careers and active citizenship with a global perspective. Explore undergraduate majors, minors, and concentrations, including new majors in accounting, biochemistry, and software development, online at www.curry.edu.
Get Gatemen gear. Check out the latest styles and colors of your favorite Gatemen apparel. Also in stock, a large selection of Cape League items, including tickets to the All-Star Game. Test your pitching speed and pick up a souvenir ball, all at our merchandise booth.
Since 1950, Morse Insurance has consistently offered the best insurance at competitive rates to generations of clients in southern Massachusetts. If you're frustrated with paying for what essentially feels like just a piece of paper, it's time for you to check out the one-of-a-kind client experience that only Morse Insurance can deliver.
Four, 5, 6, Packard, Shenton, Amditas due up for the Gatemen in the top of the second inning. Scoreless tie between the Wareham Gatemen and the YD Red Sox from Red Wilson Field in South Yarmouth. Bryant Packard will lead it off, went 0 for 3 with a run scored in game number 1. He'll be opposed by Tommy Henry on the mound, who looked pretty darn good in that first inning. Lefty-lefty matchup here to start the second. The first pitch from the tall left-hander from Michigan is swung on / foul back into the chain-link fence behind home plate. It's 0-1.
Yeah, strikeout for Henry in the first. As I mentioned, not something he does very often. And then gets Valenzuela, who reaches on a botched play at third base, but then is able to eliminate him on a great pickoff move and challenges Andrew Vaughn all the way throughout and gets him to fly out lazily to right.
0-1 low, and it's 1-1 now to Bryant Packard. The big lefty from ECU. Playing pretty well this season for the Gatemen, the 1-1. In the dirt, it's 2-1. Packard delivered the walk-off single in the bottom of the 10th inning yesterday at Spillane to plate. Sahid Valenzuela gave the Gatemen a walk-off victory. Moved them to 8-4, now up to 9-4 on the season, a league best, with the win in game number 1. 2-1 from Henry. Swung on, clipped foul again back in left, and it's 2-2. And if you look back at Packard's game yesterday, the walk-off might have not been the most impressive part. He also walked 3 times in that game before delivering the walk-off single. The 2-2 from Henry. Waved on and missed. A good slider with some nice tailing action on the end of it. Right in the dirt. Strikeout number 2 for Tommy Henry, and there's one gone for Austin Shenton.
That's a textbook out pitch in a lefty-lefty matchup. Lefty coming in with the slider against Packard. Starts out in a strike on the inside corner. Breaks all the way out to the catcher's left foot on the other side of the plate. So beautiful pitch. And even if you know it's coming, it's still tough to hit if you're Bryant Packard.
Austin Shenton, the left-handed hitting third baseman, strides in. First pitch to him misses below the knees. 1-0. Shenton 2 for 3, 2 runs scored in game number 1. Average back up over 400, 405 on the season for Shenton. Henry takes a deep breath on the mound, kicks high and fires. Pitch again in the dirt. This one, though, waved on and missed by Shenton. It's 1-1. Shenton grips a two-tone bat and black batting gloves. A black and white shin protector on his left leg. The 1-1. Swung on and popped up into foul territory down the left field side. The left fielder, Reese Albert, gives it a chase, but it's going to get down and out of play before he can get there. 1-2 the count, 1 out, no score. Gatemen trying to break a scoreless tie here from Red Wilson Field in the top of the second inning against the left-hander Tommy Henry. Henry brings the black glove into his chest. Shakes his head yes to the sign and takes a deep breath. Rocks back, high leg kick in the pitch. 1-2 outside, 2-2. Two balls and 2 strikes to Shenton, way back in the batter's box. Henry throwing pretty hard on the mound to pitch home. Misses low in the dirt. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
And as we've seen with Shenton the last week or so when that average has spiked, they're not going inside on him, not testing him anything about belt high in the inner half of the plate. They know how well he turns on those pitches and pulls them to right field. Everything's been away and low.
The 3-2. Low for ball 4. So Austin Shenton climbs back into the count, produces a 1-out walk, and now Michael Amditis will come to the plate with a runner on at first and just 1 man gone.
And credit to Shenton for still finding ways to get on base like that. We've seen him be pitched away a lot this season, and he's found ways to get on base. When you're hitting as hot as he was, it's very easy to be a free swinger up there and try to knock the ball out of the ballpark every time up. But he is just finding his way on the base paths so far this year, no matter how.
Michael Amditis, the right-handed hitting catcher from Miami, strides in. First pitch to him gets away underneath the glove of Kerner, and moving up to second is Austin Shenton. We'll see if they score that a wild pitch or a pass ball, but nonetheless, Austin Shenton in scoring position with 1 out.
And Kerner just a little bit crossed up there. Wanted that pitch, looked like about knee-high to Amditis. Instead, it comes low to the ground, and he has to reach on the backhand, is unable to glove it.
They will score a wild pitch against Henry. So a runner on at second with 1 out. And a 1-0 count to Michael Amditis. Henry working out of the stretch. The pitch misses inside, 2-0. Parker Phillips due up next. Standing just in front of us in the on-deck circle. Two 2-0 the count. Phillips comes set. The pitch. High fastball chased out of the zone by Michael Amditis. Not too happy with himself, and it's 2-1.
Not what Amditis was expecting there, and no reason to. We haven't seen that elevated fastball in the start so far for Henry. He hasn't featured it at all, and he catches Amditis completely off guard that time.
Henry working from the first base side of the rubber. Peeks back at second twice, now comes home with the 2-1. Up and in for a ball, 3-1 now. 3 balls and a strike, 1 out. No score here in the top of the second inning from Red Wilson Field. Game 2 of a doubleheader between the Gatemen and the YD Red Sox. The 3-1 pitch to Amditas. Swung on, hit down the third base line. Fair ball. Backhand pick by the third baseman. Throws in the dirt, but dug out by Dashbach over there. But the runner moves up to third. Shenton up to third on the ground ball out, 5-3. Pretty nice play from Andrew Martinez. So now a runner at third with 2 outs for Parker Phillips.
Yeah, this one just hugging the line down the third base side. Martinez actually has to check if it's fair before he throws over and does his best. Dashbach has to get a mean pick out of the infield dirt there to complete the out. A good play by third and first baseman on that one.
Parker Phillips, the right-handed hitting first baseman, strides in, did not play in game number 1 and waves in, misses, at a first pitch fastball. It's 0-1. Phillips at 174 this season for the Gatemen. Although he did have a fantastic season this year at Austin P in the spring. 0-1 inside, had to bend himself out of the way. 1-1 now.
He's definitely one of these new age power hitters with the big swings, willing to strike out a lot if they're able to get the right cut on the ball. So the strikeout numbers have been up this year, but you got to expect the power numbers are to come.
1-1 popped up foul right side. Dashbach over to make the play. Kemp's out underneath it for the final out of the inning. So the Gatemen strand a runner on at third after a 1-out walk from Austin Shenton. We're headed to the bottom of the second. Still no score from Red Wilson Field. And our own Mary Orders is talking with Bryson Stott right now as Stott trots out from the dugout. And she will have Stott coming up here his last day in a Wareham Gatemen uniform. Take it away, Mary.
Thanks, guys. So, Bryson, this was your last game for the Gatemen before you leave for Team USA. How are you feeling out there today?
I felt fine. It's just good to be out there with those guys for one more time, and I get to support them from the bench this game, so it's pretty fun.
Do you have a good time supporting them from the bench? How do you try to do that?
I just like to talk a lot, like to keep them up in the dugout if they didn't have a good at bat or whatever. So it's different not playing with them, but being on the bench is fine with me.
And what are some of your goals heading to Team USA?
To keep taking good at bats and keeping my swing where I need it to be and keep making all the plays in the field and have as much fun as I did here.
And quick question before you go, who's your funniest Gatemen teammate?
Ooh, that's a tough one. I'd have to say Luke Roscom. He's a character for sure.
Okay, thanks so much, Bryson. Guys, back to you.
Thank you very much, Mary, as always. Bryson Stott, Andrew Vaughn, and Mason Fioli all heading off to Team USA tomorrow. Bottom of the second inning from Red Wilson Field. Still no score between the Gatemen and the YD Red Sox. Quinn Cotton will lead it off. The designated hitter for YD played left field in game number 1 and went 2 for 3 with an RBI. Right-handed hitter from Grand Canyon University. Will Proctor from Georgia, his first pitch to Cotton. Inside, it's 1-0. Cotton now hitting .350 on the season with YD after the 2 for 3 performance. The 1-0 pitch is swung on, sloped right at the second baseman. Zahid Valenzuela, a leaping grab, he makes it. And that's 1 down and a well-hit ball from Quinn Cotton.
It was an absolute rocket. Looked like it was labeled to go up the middle and center field. And Valenzuela, not a very tall guy at second base. We saw a couple go over his head last night, but very athletic, times it perfectly on that one. Not even his highest jump I don't think we've seen from him yet, and he's able to corral that one.
First pitch from Will Proctor to Reese Albert is waved on and missed. 0-1. Albert DH'd in game 1, playing left field today in game number 2. 0 for 2 in game 1 with 2 walks, so a relatively productive day for him thus far. The 0-1 from the right-hander Proctor, waved on and missed. Good breaking ball off speed pitch, it's 0-2. No balls and 2 strikes, 1 out in the bottom of the second inning. Still a scoreless tie here at Red Wilson Field. The pitch from Proctor. Looping curveball misses below the knees, 1-2. After the game 1, 0 for 2 for Albert, and he's at 166, 2 for 12 on the season with YD. Proctor kicks sign, fires the 1-2 pitch, swung on and hit on the ground toward third base in Shenton. He comes up firing. His throw with a good stretch from Parker Phillips is in time for out number 2. 2 up, 2 down for the YD Red Sox here in the second. And now Johnny DeLuca, the switch-hitting right fielder, will stride in. Game number 1 pretty productive for him, 1 for 2 with a home run and 2 walks.
This guy was a spark down at the bottom of the order for YD in game 1. He was hitting 9th, now in a better RBI position on paper, at least, obviously not right now, but up to the 6th hole today.
First pitch to him this time around from Proctor, called strike at the knees, 0-1. DeLuca now 4 for 20 on the year, 4 RBIs. The 0-1 from Proctor. Misses low, diving breaking ball, dove a little too far inside, and it's 1-1. DeLuca with gray Oregon cleats underneath the white pants. White batting gloves grip a tan and black bat. Proctor rocks back, fires the 1-1, fouled off down the left field line. The count will move to a ball and 2 strikes. Red Wilson Field, one of 3 parks in the Cape Cod Baseball League without lights, and cloud cover has made it relatively dark here, even though sunset isn't coming for another 2 hours or so.
Yeah, some real ominous clouds moving in, JD. It's been overcast all day, but it is starting to get dark.
1-2 hit right back to the pitcher. What a glove from Will Proctor. He flips on to first in Parker Phillips for the final out of the inning. 6 up, 6 down for the YD Red Sox. Will Proctor looking good through 2. We're headed to the top of the 3rd. Still no score between the Gatemen and the YD Red Sox on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
At E.L. Morse Lumber, commitment to the customer shines through in every aspect of their daily operations, including their competitive prices, complete product selection, and superior customer care. Visit E.L. Morse Lumber, located on Cranberry Highway in Wareham, for service with a personal touch.
The 2018 Cape League All-Star Game will be played at White House Field in Harwich Sunday, July 22nd. Game time is 6 p.m., gates open at 2. One highlight will be the Cumberland Farms home run hitting contest. There will also be an autograph session and a large merchandise village with items from many of the teams. Support the Gatemen in part by purchasing your ticket right now at the merchandise booth. Tickets are just $5.
Head on over to BB's Bar and Grill for food, drinks, and fun. Located just off Cranberry Highway, come in to sample the scrumptious fare or relax with a drink while enjoying live entertainment. The Gatemen thank BB's Bar and Grill for their support.
Tommy Henry has been fantastic through 2 innings pitched for the YD Red Sox here at Red Wilson Field. He'll look to keep that stretch going against Ryan Kreidler, Skylar Hunter, and Jeremy Idens. 8-9-1 due up for the Gatemen in the top of the 3rd inning. J.D. Rachi here with you alongside my broadcast partner today, Cameron Stewart. Game 1 of the doubleheader going the way of the Gatemen, a 10-4 win for Wareham. Trying to move up to 10-4 on the season with a win here in game number 2. Ryan Kreidler, the shortstop from UCLA, steps in. Didn't play in game number 1, at least didn't come to the plate in game 1. Came in as a defensive replacement at third base. He's playing shortstop, though, today. Tommy Henry takes a deep breath on the mound. The first pitch from the left-hander from Michigan. Misses up and away, 1-0. Kreidler at .364 this season through his first couple of games with Wareham. He's had a good long stride in there. The 1-0. Swung on and popped up. Back toward the cars again, and it sounded like it might have hit one. Again, we're hoping that's not Henrique's car. He's parked in the first row.
Oh, come on, Henrique. Rookie. Act like you've been here before.
Well, he's never been here before. This is our first time at Red Wilson Field this season. 1-1. Waved on and missed by Ryan Kreidler. Good diving breaking ball from Tommy Henry on the outer half. It's 1-2.
Doesn't mean you can't act like it. Show us something, Henrique.
Henry comes set on the mound, takes a deep breath, rocks back, and fires. 1-2 inside, 2-2.
Not surprising to see Kreidler at shortstop today. You think he's probably the replacement for Bryson Stott, who is looked to play his last game as a member of the Gatemen. And that'll probably be his everyday role with Shenton at third base.
2-2 fouled off the leg of Kreidler. He stays alive on a pretty good pitch from Tommy Henry, and the count is even. Skylar Hunter in the on-deck circle. Switch hitter who will bat right against Tommy Henry. 2-2 the count to Ryan Kreidler. The pitch home from Henry. Misses low, and now the count is full. Kreidler wearing blue UCLA cleats underneath the gray pants. Red batting gloves over a tan bat. The 3-2 pitch fouled off, and he stays alive. Driving the pitch count for Tommy Henry up. Henry has already thrown 38 pitches today. Three and two from the left-hander. Swung on, fouled off again, and it'll stay full.
That's something Coach Dodson has been preaching all year to these guys, working the pitch count for the starters. Get to those bullpens even earlier than you normally would. Typically, guys only going 3 or 4 innings in a start here in the Cape League. Anytime you can work into their bullpen earlier, the better you're going to be.
Full count pitch, swung on, hit back up the middle. Glove, though, by the second baseman, Koss. Throw across his body is in time. Nice little play. Ranging to his right is for Koss. And there's one gone for Skylar Hunter.
Fundamentally sound there by Christian Koss at second base. Has to shuffle over to his right, going away from the bag, and is able to range over there in time so he can plant and throw to first base and doesn't have to rush it, throwing across his body and heading away from the bag. So fundamentally, very sound there from Koss.
Switch hitter Skylar Hunter batting right. The first pitch to him from the left-hander Henry is on the outside corner for a strike, 0-1. Pretty good bounce-back defensive play for Koss after 2 costly errors in game number 1 for him at shortstop. 0-1 from Henry. Waved on and missed. Pitch in the dirt. Chased out of the zone by Skylar Hunter, and it's 0-2. Hunter, one of only a couple of players in this league that doesn't wear batting gloves. Bare hands gripping a tan bat. Henry comes set, kicks way high and fires. Fastball just off the plate outside. 1-2 now. Jeremy Idens, the right fielder, in the on-deck circle. One out here in the top of the third. Still no score between YD and Wareham. The 1-2. Down low, 2-2. Henry steps off the mound, recollects himself, adjusts his cap. Hunter in the back of the batter's box against the hard-throwing left-hander. Big Ten matchup, 2-2. Fouled off of Hunter's chest, and the count will hold even. A lot of Big Ten guys on this YD team. A couple of Michigan Wolverines, Michigan State Spartan, and of course some Big Ten guys in Dominic Clemente and Skylar Hunter. Clemente out of Michigan, Hunter out of Purdue. 2-2 in the pitch home from Henry. Misses inside. Now we have a full count, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Back-to-back batters now for the Gatemen, driving up that Henry pitch count. Back-to-back full counts here against Wareham. The payoff pitch. Swung on, hit right toward the shortstop. Waddell fields on a couple of hops. His throw over beats the speedy Skylar Hunter at the bag. 6-3 on the putout. Now there's 2 gone for the top of the order and Jeremy Idens.
The right fielder from UCLA, number 7, Jeremy Idens.
Idens 0 for 1 today. Struck out swinging against Henry, back to lead off this game in the top of the first. Only 2 base runners today for the Gatemen. Saheed Valenzuela reached on an error, and then Austin Shenton reached on a walk. First pitch to Idens, called strike, inner half, 0-1. Idens 2 for 5 in game number 1. Now at 370, 10 for 27 on the season. 0-1. Down below the knees, and it's 1-1 now. Idens, one of 4 UCLA Bruins. On this Wareham roster, we've seen all but one. Jack Ralston, the right-handed pitcher, has yet to make his debut. Pitch home from the right-hander Henry is fouled off to the right side. Will get out of play behind the snack shack here at Red Wilson Field. It's now 1-2 to Jeremy Idens. Clouds continue to persist here in South Yarmouth. Quickly darkening from Red Wilson Field. The 1-2 pitch waved on and missed. Nice breaking ball, off-speed pitch from Tommy Henry. And the side is retired. The Gatemen go 1-2-3 in the top of the 3rd inning. After we come back from this break, our own Henrique DeMore will have a look around the Cape League. That's coming up on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
The law firm of Lang, Exafaris & Bullard, providing families and businesses in the greater New Bedford community with legal services for 40 years. We look forward to serving you. For an appointment, call 508-992-1270. We invite you to learn more about the law firm of Lang, Exafaris & Bullard by visiting our website, lxblaw.com.
Welcome back to Red Wilson Field. Like JD said, my name's Henrique DeMore. Let's take you around the Cape League. Full slate of games. Like we said, Falmouth snapped the winning streak, or snapped the losing streak, I should say. 7-2 victory over the Brewster Whitecaps, and are ahead of Brewster 5-0 in the top of the 7th. TJ Sycamore, the starter for them, just might go the distance. Through 6 1/3, he's got 4 strikeouts. In the top of the 5th inning, Bourne and Harwich tied 1 apiece. Zach Watson with a sacrifice fly doing all the damage for Harwich. After Harwich beat Bourne 1-0, Katuitt ahead at Chatham 2-0. Eric Jones with an RBI, 1 for 3 on the day for him. Hyannis and Orleans 0-0 in the bottom of the 2nd inning. Katuitt and Chatham will get going in Game 2 at 8 p.m. And Hyannis with a 7-3 victory over Orleans snuck into, get this, Wareham fans, 2nd place in the West Division with that win, as they have a tie to give them a few more points than Katuitt or Bourne. That's it from me. You'll hear from me in the middle of the 6th inning shortly. Thank you guys. Back to you.
Thank you very much, Henrique. A great look around the league as always. Things starting to get a little, in the top of the West Division. But Gatemen have been leading it all season long, looking to move to 10-4 with a win here against YD in game number 2. Adam Kerner, the catcher from San Diego, is the first to stride in against Will Proctor here in the half inning. And his first pitch misses low, 1-0. Kerner didn't see any action in Game 1. Typically turn over your catcher between Game 1 and Game 2 of a doubleheader. Give your guys behind the plate a break. 1-0 called strike, 1-1. Kerner at .235 this season on the Cape. A double and a home run. Proctor takes a deep breath, waits his time on the mound, now rocks back and fires. 1-1 breaking ball dropped in on the inside half. Nice pitch from Proctor. It's 1-2.
And if he has that pitch going for him, it's going to be a long night, or maybe a quicker night for these YD Red Sox hitters. If he can locate that on the inside half to a right-handed hitter with that breaking ball, that's deadly.
1-2 low. Backhanded stop by Amditas, and it's 2-2. Kerner out of Agoura Hills, California, Oaks Christian High School. Hit .338 this season for the San Diego Toreros. All WCC freshman team and all WCC second team this year. 2-2 fouled off. Good job to stay alive, and it's still 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, it was that breaking ball once again that Proctor's gone to 3 straight pitches now. In front of the plate, it was going to be low, and hitter thinking fastball there, Kerner was just able to get the bat out on it.
2-2 the count to the 5'10", 180-pound catcher. Proctor's pitch is swung on, rocketed into left center field. Skylar Hunter chasing it down, but he can't get there. He cuts it off. Kerner moving up to second. There's going to be a play at the bag, and a perfect throw from Skylar Hunter. guns down Austin Kerner. Excuse me, Adam Kerner, but wow, what a throw from Skylar Hunter.
This is just a bad read by Kerner here. He shoots it out to the gap, but he doesn't know how fast Skylar Hunter is. He is able to cut this ball off, take it off one hop well before the wall, and he gets it in perfectly. A good job by Valenzuela to call off the shortstop Kreidler and let that ball come through, and they had him absolutely dead to rights at second base.
8-4 on the putout, and there's one gone now. As the first pitch to Luke Waddell is hit to the shortstop Kreidler, his throw on to first is easily in time for out number 2. So all of a sudden, it looked like possible extra bases for Adam Kerner, and now there's nobody on and 2 outs for the bottom of the order and Andrew Martinez.
You can't say enough about the defense for the Gatemen out in the outfield this year. Talk about Bryant Packard a lot in the gun he has out in left field. Skylar Hunter showing his right there, and they have knocked out 2 guys trying to reach an extra base on a base hit in 3 nights for the Gatemen.
First pitch breaking ball comes too far inside to Martinez. It's 1-0 from Proctor. Martinez got the start in game number 1 at second base. Went 0 for 4. There comes the 1-0 from Proctor. Pitch misses low. 2 balls and no strikes now. Proctor brings the tan glove to his waist. 1 foot back, the other forward. The pitch home misses inside. Now 3-0. Proctor's going to take a second to recollect himself on the mound. Three and 0 the count. Here's the pitch from Proctor. Get me over. Fastball does its job. It's 3-1. Temperatures certainly starting to cool off here at Red Wilson Field. Still a lot of cloud cover. The 3-1 swung on, hit toward this 5.5 hole, off the glove of Ryan Kreidler and into left field. We'll have to see how they score that. Would have been a tough play either way for Kreidler, moving away from first base. So now a runner on at first with 2 outs for the top of the order and Zach Ashford.
Yeah, and it's going to go down as a hit. Kreidler didn't have a chance on this one. Moving to his right, going away from first base. And this ball looked like it was tagged for left field anyway, and Kreidler did well just to get that close to it, and it did take a clank off his glove, but even if he was able to corral it there, I don't think they would have been able to get Martinez at first base, so it goes down as a single.
First pitch here to the top of the order, and Zach Ashford misses up and away for a ball. It's 1-0. Ashford 0 for 1, struck out looking to start the offensive day in game number 2 for YD in the bottom of the first. Ball and no strikes, the pitch. Swung on, hit right at the third baseman on a hot shot. Austin Shenton gloves it on its way by, and he makes the play for out number 3. So 2 singles in the inning for YD, but only 1 left aboard. The play of the inning, Skylar Hunter to Sahid Valenzuela on an 8-4 putout. A very impressive defensive play, and we still got a tie ball game. We're headed to the top of the 4th inning. No score from Red Wilson Field on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
The law firm of Lang, Exafaris & Bullard, providing families and businesses in the greater New Bedford community with legal services for 40 years. We look forward to serving you. For an appointment, call 508-992-1270. We invite you to learn more about the law firm of Lang, Exafaris & Bullard by visiting our website, lxblaw.com.
Stop by the Ansel S. Gurney House, where you will find a unique shopping and dining experience. Whether shopping for a special occasion or just to treat yourself, you'll find what you're looking for in one of the 11 themed rooms. There's also a cafe serving fresh homemade lunches overlooking the extensive gardens. The Ansel S. Gurney House is located at 403 County Road in Marion.
Sahid Valenzuela leads off the top of the 4th inning for the Gatemen, trying to break a scoreless tie here from Red Wilson Field. Tommy Henry, the left-hander on the mound from Michigan, has been magnificent through 1 turn around the order, +1 at bat from Jeremy Idens. Valenzuela 0 for 1 in this game. Reached on an error, but then was caught in a pickle. 1-3-6 on the putout of him between first and second base back in the first inning. Valenzuela now at 4 for 8 on the season, a .500 average even now. First pitch from Henry to him. This is below the belt, and it's 1-0. Valenzuela, the switch-hitting middle infielder from Cal State Fullerton, batting right against the left-hander Henry. 1-0 pitch is in the dirt, bounces into the chest protector of Adam Kerner behind home plate. And it's now 2 balls and no strikes. 2-0 the count to the switch hitter batting right, Valenzuela. Henry comes set the pitch. Outside, 3-0 now. The count now to Valenzuela. Not a guy you want to put on with a free pass. Good speed on the base paths. 3-0 fastball outside corner called strike, 3-1. Henry takes a deep breath on the mound, rocks back, kicks high and fires. 3-1 is swung on, tap toward the third baseman. Martinez comes up throwing, high throw back on the bag though. Andrew Dashbach makes a nice play. Valenzuela nearly reached on a second error from Andrew Martinez, but he does complete the play 5-3 for out number 1.
And this is a tough one because it's a slow roller, and Valenzuela gets out of the box well. And this time Martinez does have to rush the throw over. And a great play, as you said, by Dashbach there to corral it off the bag and bring it back down in time to get the speedy Valenzuela.
Andrew Vaughn now at the plate. First pitch to him is swung on and skied foul down the right field line. Dashbach giving it a chase, and he makes the catch, it looks like. And he does indeed. Tough vantage point from us here behind the Gatemen dugout down the first base side, but Dashbach makes a dazzling catch, and Andrew Vaughn is down on the first pitch he sees. There's 2 gone for Bryant Packard.
East Carolina, number 6, Bryant Packard.
Packard 0 for 1 today, struck out swinging against Henry back in the second. The big lefty from ECU against the big lefty from Michigan on the mound. First pitch from Henry, skips in the dirt low, 1-0. Packard 0 for 3 in the first game today. 0 for 4 on the evening. Another pitch low in the dirt, skips to the catcher Kerner, and it's 2 balls and no strikes. Henry takes a deep breath, delivers the 2-0 pitch. Swung on and clobbered high and deep to right field at the track, at the wall, and you can kiss it goodbye. Bryant Packard, a solo bomb to straightaway right field, and the Gatemen take a 1-0 lead in the top of the 4th.
Just a tough one to sneak an inside fastball by Bryant Packard, and this one was an absolute no-doubter that he turns on, and some little bit of friendly wars between the dugouts here. The Gatemen get the last laugh in this one and have a 1-0 lead. Packard's been putting some good swings on it since he was moved down in the lineup the other day. Certainly a message from Coach Snedden and a message coming back from him, from Bryant Packard.
First pitch to Austin Shenton, over for a called strike on the outer half. So a 1-0 lead for Wareham on the solo homer from Bryant Packard. 0-1 the count to Shenton. The pitch is swung on, hit back up the middle. The shortstop ranging over into the hole, has a tough time pulling it out of his glove. His throw is now going to go behind the first baseman, Dashbach, and moving up to second is Austin Shenton. Luke Waddell had no chance at nailing Shenton there. Still threw the ball anyway, and his throw was way offline. So he compounds not being able to pull the ball out of his glove, and Austin Shenton is in scoring position with 2 outs for Michael Lamditis.
Yeah, just a really poor decision by Waddell there. He had Koss coming up the middle as well, the second baseman, and that impedes him getting it right away. But even then, it's right on the edge of the outfield, or excuse me, the infield dirt going into the outfield grass. And he wasn't going to get Shenton and decides to throw it anyway. And the worst possible scenario for YD is the throw gets away.
Michael Lamditis' first pitch to him is popped up right side. Dashbach over toward the Gatemen dugout, and he makes the play in front of the railing for out number 3. But Bryant Packard puts a charge into a pitch over the right field fence for his first home run as a Gateman. We are headed to the bottom of the 4th inning. Cam Stewart will have the play-by-play when we come back on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
The Bay Point Golf Club offers a unique collection of 18 championship golf holes, a beautiful banquet facility, and a club host that has a fully stocked pro shop. The Bay Point Grill is a perfect place to grab a meal or watch a game. The course is located off of Onset Avenue in Buzzards Bay. The Gatemen thank you for your support.
Are you hungry? Visit the concession stand for some new menu items. Try fried dough, chicken fingers, or french fries along with your regular favorites, hot dogs, burgers, cold drinks, and ice cream. Proceeds from the concession stand support the Gatemen and the Wareham High DECA program. Got legal trouble? Attorney Mark Deshays is here to help the greater New Bedford area with real estate and business law, estate planning, and probate. Visit him today.
Bottom of the 4th inning from Red Wilson Field, 1-0. The Gatemen lead after a Bryant Packard solo homer. In the top half of the inning, Will Proctor back to the mound for his 4th inning of work. And in for his 1st inning of work on the play-by-play is Cameron Stewart.
Thank you, JD. Proctor's going to have to deal with 2, 3, 4 in the YD lineup. Christian Koss followed by Andrew Dashbach and Quinn Cotton. So heart of the order here, Gatemen in front 1-0 off the Bryant Packard homer. They already took game 1 of the doubleheader, a 10-4 decisive victory earlier this afternoon. And as we alluded to earlier, we're going to see how much more game we're going to get in here. But without the lights and the overcast getting darker and darker, that 1 run could prove crucial here for the Gatemen. It'll first be Koss coming up. He's only had 1 trip to the plate tonight as the second hitter of the game for the Red Sox. He grounded out to Austin Shenton at third base. First pitch swinging on both times tonight. This one's going to go all the way back to the wall, and a leap there by Skylar Hunter right in front of the wall. He's going to bang into the fence and make the catch for out number 1.
That's an impressive play from Skylar Hunter. He is not a big guy out there. 5'10". I'd say he's smaller than that. Listed at 5'10" on the Purdue roster as well as on the Gatemen roster. And that's a nifty little play, nice athleticism from him. And robs extra bases from Christian Koss.
Andrew Dashbach will now step in, the first baseman, who's made a couple of nice plays defensively so far. He's 0 for 1 today. He struck out swinging against Proctor in the first and is going to wear this one right on the left forearm there as the first pitch comes inside and grabs him. And so he will be down to first base. 2 pitches in the inning, and Proctor has gotten an out and now has put a man on base via the hit by pitch.
Not exactly what you want to see after giving up a long fly ball out, or not giving up, but forcing a long fly ball out. But Proctor has been good today. First time, not the first time he's going to pitch with runners on. He's been good thus far, so a lot of trust in him.
First pitch is going to be pounded in there to Quinn Cotton, the designated hitter. And his last time up, he hit an absolute rope up the middle that Zahid Valenzuela was able to leap and come down with. For a man small in stature, he made a nice catch just like Hunter did earlier in this inning. Pitch going to be in front of the plate and blocked by Amditas, keeps it in front of him onto the grass in front of home and stares down the runner Dashbach at first base. And is able to keep him at bay. Runs the count to 1-1 with 1 out and a man on.
For a guy in Amditas that likes the snap throw, I'm surprised you didn't see a throw down from him there. Kind of double clutched, and at that point, a throw would have been futile.
Proctor's 1-1 home, going to miss inside and low down by the feet of Cotton, and Cotton is now ahead of the count 2-1. For a guy out of Grand Canyon who had a stellar year, hit .390 during the college baseball season with an OPS over 1,000. 5 homers, 43 RBI, 19 doubles, and 5 triples. So 29 extra base hits. He's going to pop this one up on the infield. Valenzuela will camp under it and will make the catch for out number 2. Staying at first is Dashbach. And there are 2 gone here in the bottom of the 4th.
That's how you bounce back from giving up a hit by pitch. 1A, 1B, Dashbach and Cotton are, so you set down Quinn Cotton, a really good hitter, on a easy pop out to Sahid Valenzuela, and now you deal with a much easier task in Reese Albert.
Albert, another one of these guys who's 0 for 1 today. He's going to nub this one foul off to the left. There's only been 1 hit for the Red Sox. That was Andrew Martinez with a 2-out single in the 3rd inning. Excuse me. He was able to just get it under the glove of Ryan Kreidler and was able to reach that way. First offering. This one's going to be cut on and missed by Albert, and he's down in the count, 0-2. My apologies on that last one. They had not docked the first pitch on the scoreboard, so 0-2 is the count with 2 outs and a man on base for YD. 2 hits apiece, but obviously 1 left the yard for the Gatemen, as this one is going to be roped into right field. A base hit over Valenzuela. Coming onto it quickly is Idens, and Dashbach, who did not get a good read on it, will have to stay at second, and that's the 2nd hit of the day for the YD Red Sox. Reese Albert finds himself on, and there's 2 men on for YD and 2 outs in the inning.
Not much you can do there if you're Sahid Valenzuela, unless you're Superman. Just a floating line drive over his head. Kind of sprayed his body at it. I think that might actually have been a good play from Valenzuela to fling his body, because it made Dashbach think for a second, hey, he might catch this one.
First pitch is a looping breaking ball that Proctor liked, Mdidis liked, Jim Lawler liked, but they don't get the call. That will miss. 1-0 now to Johnny DeLuca, who homered in the first game of this doubleheader for the Red Sox. Here's the 1-0 home. This one is going to catch the outside corner on the fastball from Proctor, and that evens the count at a ball and a strike. Proctor making his first start of the year today. In this, his 4th inning of work, has only allowed 2 hits. He's also struck out a couple of batters. Here's his 1-1 home. Going to be bounced on the ground to first base. Phillips will get it, cutting off Valenzuela, and will underhand to Proctor for the out that retires the side. YD leaves a couple on the base paths, and it's still 1-0 Gatemen here on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Founded in 1854, the Wareham-based AD Makepeace Company is the world's largest cranberry grower and private property owner in eastern Massachusetts. The company supports organizations like the Wareham Gatemen and projects like the outdoor cranberry bog classroom that you may have passed on your way in. Visit admakepeace.com to learn more.
Located in Wareham Crossing, Coastal Orthodontics, longtime sponsor of the Wareham Gatemen, knows the importance of a healthy smile. Dr. Kevin Oliveira and his team at Coastal Orthodontics are a patient-focused practice, delivering professional, effective orthodontic treatment based on the individual clinical needs of each patient, resulting in beautiful smiles in a timely manner. With 10 years of experience using Invisalign, Coastal Orthodontics uses the most up-to-date dental equipment.
Village Signs of Mattapoisett. They do it all, from logo design, trucks and buildings, to boats. Village Signs has proudly served southern New England for over 35 years. Visit them at villagesigns.inc.com for all your signage needs.
Back here for the top half of the 5th inning in a 7-inning game. As all doubleheaders are for the Cape League, will go a maximum of 9, as the 9-inning games go a maximum of 12 before ties are called. We've got a new pitcher here for the Red Sox, and it's going to be Sam Kessler, the right-hander from West Virginia, who will come on and relieve Henry. Tommy Henry getting his first start of the year. Not pitched poorly, 4 innings of work. Gave up the 1 run on just a couple of hits for the Gatemen. That 1 run came from the Bryant Packard solo homer back in the 4th inning. So close the book on him. Gatemen up 1-0 here on the Gatemen Baseball Network. Alongside me is J.D. Rachi. I'm Cameron Stewart. We are about ready to get the top of the 5th started. It's going to be Parker Phillips, the first baseman from Austin Peay, who will come up and try to get things started. Red Sox out hitting the Gatemen 3-2, but also 2 in the E column for YD today. A couple of errors have helped the Gatemen case. Phillips stands in. He is 0 for 1 tonight. He flied out to Doshbach at first base in foul territory his first time up. After falling behind 0-2, he's going to take a first pitch for a called strike here, and he's behind 0-1.
Phillips, one of those guys we were really excited about. Hasn't quite gotten into his groove yet on the Cape.
Gonna foul this one straight back. Looks like he just missed that pitch. And those become all the more frustrating with that slow start you mentioned, JD. And he's behind in the count once again. No balls and 2 strikes.
Just a little bit out in front of that pitch. Had to lunge forward to foul it off. If he waits back a second more, it could be a hard line drive.
This one gonna bounce up to the plate. Does not get Phillips to go fishing on it. So count now goes to 1-2. Kessler looks in, the 1-2 home. Phillips is going to put a charge into this one, a deep right center, no doubt about it. It clears the fence easily for a long Parker Phillips home run, and it is 2-0 Gatemen, and there's the power we were talking about, JD.
How about breaking out of a slump with a big bomb to straightaway center? The Gatemen are raking today. That is 4 home runs. It seems like a distant memory when Lyle Lockhart hit one out in game number 1. We've now seen home runs from Lockhart, Vaughn, Packard, and Phillips in this doubleheader today.
An absolute missile from Parker Phillips. And from where we sit right here, we could see Skylar Hunter coming into the on-deck circle, jaw dropped to the floor at the immensity of that shot by Parker Phillips. So 2-0 is our score. Nobody out still for Ryan Kreidler. He is going to swing and foul this one off to the right and out of play. So the first batter for Kessler, he goes up 0-2 on him. Wastes one to go 1-2, and Phillips absolutely wastes one into the trees beyond center field here at Red Wilson Field. 0-1, going to catch the top of the strike zone, belt high to Kreidler. Called strike puts him down 0-2. 0-2 coming, check swing, and they're going to appeal down to first base and say that he did not go around. The pitch was going to miss as well, so count now goes to 1-2. That was a close call there from Kreidler.
I thought he went around, not going to lie to you.
I did as well, JD, to be honest.
Not quite the vantage point, though, of the first base umpire.
Stays in there, but the 1-2, he will cut on and miss at a pitch down low in the dirt. So Kreidler gone for the 2nd time today, and this time via the strikeout. And Kessler records his first out here in the 5th inning.
It's a good pitch, diving breaking ball, low in the zone. Kreidler chases, and there's one gone.
Skylar Hunter will step in now, 0 for 1 today. Takes the first pitch over for a called strike. Grounded out to the shortstop back in the 3rd inning. Just trying to get that bat going. Did not have an at-bat in the first game, but came in as a defensive replacement earlier today. This one going to miss outside, so count evens at a ball and a strike with 1 out and nobody on base for the Gatemen in their half of the 5th inning. One, and out in front of it is Hunter, but he will tag it foul down the right field line. Hunter got the pitch he wanted there, just not quite the swing as he didn't wait back on it far enough. long enough, excuse me, and he's down in the count 1-2. 1-2 is going to miss up high, up by the W on the left breast of Skylar Hunter. Not a very tall man, as we mentioned earlier, listed at 5'10". So a small strike zone for Hunter. 2-2 home from Kessler. He's going to reach out on a pitch low, and will pop it up on the infield. Martinez, the third baseman, will just wait for it to come down and haul it in for out number 2.
Just a golf swing at that point, low pitch in the zone. So after giving up that home run to Parker Phillips, Kessler has learned his lesson and kept pitches much lower in the strike zone in the last 2 batters. Kreidler struck out on a low breaking ball, and then this time Skylar Hunter pops out on one.
Now Hunter 0 for 2 leaves things for Jeremy Idens, the leadoff man for the Gatemen, who's also 0 for 2 today. A couple of strikeouts. And he's behind in the count on a swing and a miss at a pitch low and away. Now it's 0-1. Both of those strikeouts came against the lefty Tommy Henry, who started today for the Red Sox. And another off-speed pitch there from Kessler, almost the same spot, gets Idens to swing and miss once again. So he's quickly behind in the count, 0-2, with 2 outs and nobody aboard for Wareham. This one going to bounce in the dirt, but blocked down there. Count goes to 1-2. One and two, 2 outs. Kessler looks in. High pitch, but cut on and missed by Idens, who is down via the swinging strikeout for the 3rd time today. And Parker Phillips with the shot that makes it 2-0 here for the Gatemen in their half of the 5th inning. A couple of solo homers. We'll see how Don Sneddon feels about that, as he is going to be with our sideline reporter Mary Orders in just a moment.
Got to figure he's pretty happy. 2-0 lead. Look on the face might not say the same.
Let's hear from the man himself. Let's send it down to Mary.
Thanks, guys. So Coach Proctor's blanked the Red Sox through the first 4 innings. What's been working out there for him on the mound?
Well, he's been able to get a breaking ball over just to keep him off balance a little bit. He doesn't have great control of his fastball, and that's where he's going to need to improve to spot it up a little bit. We're missing some locations, but as long as he is walking guys, he's got an out pitch with that breaking ball. So even if he gets into trouble, he still can get out of it if he can get that curveball over.
And what do the position players need to do throughout the rest of the game?
Well, we got to play solid D. This is not enough to win a ball game in this ballpark. I mean, just a walk and an error and a fly ball, and all of a sudden it's 3 runs. So we just got to keep trying to score every inning.
Thanks so much, Coach. Guys, back to you.
Thank you, Mary. You heard from the coach Don Sneddon there on his team up 2-0 here in the 2nd game of the doubleheader, trying to sweep the Red Sox in the doubleheader today. All teams around the Cape playing 2. This is traditional with most Sundays down here in the Cape League. Well, Proctor has been impressive so far, has not allowed a run to cross, has given up 3 hits to the Red Sox, and has left all 3 men stranded. But as Coach Sneddon talked about, looks to locate his fastball a little bit better and keep ahead of hitters as we go forward. To the bottom of the 5th we go. Adam Kerner, the catcher, will step to the plate here. He was one of the mans with a hit. He had singled to center, but Skylar Hunter threw him out trying to stretch it into a double. And he is ahead of the count 1-0 as the first pitch misses down by his shoestrings for ball 1. He's going to bounce this one on the ground to third. Shenton takes it belly high and will throw over to first and retire Kerner for out number 1 here in the 5th inning.
Well, Proctor continues to roll. As Don Sneddon said, the curveball has been working for him today. And when it's working, it is absolutely filthy.
Now Luke Waddell, shortstop from Georgia Tech, will step in. Coming into today, just a .211 average in 11 games. 4 for 19, but does have 3 RBI. This one will fall low and outside to the lefty. He's ahead of the count, 1 ball and no strikes. Not much power numbers for him for the Ramblin' Wreck this year as he takes this one down low for ball 2. As he hit just 1 homer and only drove in 10 out of the ACC for Georgia Tech. Did have 8 doubles on the regular season.
Not a terribly big guy, only 5'9". Can't expect a ton of power out of him.
5'9" man has shrunk the strike zone here as he takes another pitch down low by the shins. Granted, though, that would have been a ball to Parker Phillips as well on the flip side, and it's 3-0 the count. Get me over fastball is going to get over. So count now goes to 3-1 with 1 out, nobody aboard for the Red Sox in their half of the 5th inning. Proctor settles in. The 3-1 home is going to be knee-high and inside corner for a called strike 2. And without taking the bat off the shoulder, the count is full to Luke Waddell. Here's the payoff. Going to be on the ground as he swings this time. Valenzuela will gobble it up and throw over to first for an easy 4-3 putout for the 2nd out of the inning.
The third baseman.
So now we flip to the number 9 man, Andrew Martinez, the third baseman.
Martinez.
He does have one of the YD hits today. He singled back in the 3rd. This time he comes up with 2 outs and nobody aboard, wearing a white jersey. In a 2-0 ball game here on the Gatemen Baseball Network. First offering to Martinez is going to be right down the pipe for a called strike 1. Martinez from UC Santa Barbara. He's just 3 for 14 entered today in 6 games on the Cape. 214 average, a double and an RBI. 0-1 home is going to bounce in front of the plate, but Martinez is going to take a mighty golf swing and not connect with it. So he is now down in the count, no balls and 2 strikes to Proctor, who tries to make it 5 clean innings and keep his team in that 2-0 lead. Proctor to the belt. Here's the 0-2. Right down the middle, called strike 3. Martinez looks back in disgust, but he is the 3rd out of the inning. That strikeout brought to you by the law offices of Lang, Exafaris, and Bullard, the official strikeout sponsor of the Wareham Gatemen. 5 full in the books from Red Wilson, still 2-0 Gatemen here on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
The Gatemen wish to thank Patty Wild and the trustees of the John Wild Charitable Trust for their continued support of Gatemen Baseball in Wareham.
South Coast Health, operators of Charlton Memorial Hospital, St. Luke's Hospital, and Toby Hospital, delivers an unmatched combination of clinical excellence with a personal touch. They are proud to serve as southeastern Massachusetts and Rhode Island's only not-for-profit health system, as well as the region's largest employer. South Coast Health, the best care plus something more.
One of the Gatemen's favorite places for their post-game meals is Cool Cone, where you can get anything from fried clams and fried chicken to an ice cream sundae, and then top it all off with a round of mini golf. Cool Cone, located on Route 6 on the Wareham-Marion line.
Back here for the top of the 6th inning. Gatemen up 2-0. Sam Kessler is still out there for the YD Red Sox. 3 hits apiece. And a 2-0 lead for the team that is ranked number 1 in the country in summer baseball leagues. That is collegiatesummerbaseball.com ranking those teams. Wareham sitting at number 1. And rounding out the top 10 are actually these YD Red Sox, who are on a roll coming into today. Now a 5-5-2 record. 4 of those top 10 teams hailing from the Cape League. Zahid Valenzuela will get things started, and we'll take a slow changeup in there for a called strike 1. Valenzuela reached on an error back in the 1st, then grounded out to Alec Martinez at 3rd in the 4th, as he is going to bounce this one foul off to the right in front of the Gatemen dugout. Count now goes to 0-2. 0-2 home from Kessler, just going to miss off the outer half. 4-1, 1-2 is now the count. Kessler has appeared in 3 games for the Red Sox this year and in 7 innings. Had not allowed a run coming into today. Parker Phillips doing the damage with a solo homer off him. Valenzuela's going to get under this pitch, and it's going to be skied out towards left field. Reese Albert was a designated hitter in Game 1, will settle under it and make the catch for the first out of the inning.
From Cal Berkeley, number 16.
And now Andrew Vaughn will come up in his last game as a member of the Gatemen and what could be his last at-bat here in the 6th inning of a 7-inning game that we are accustomed to have with doubleheaders. Comes on with the bases empty, 1 out. And we'll take the first pitch inside for a ball, 1-0. Vaughn with a homer earlier today in the first game of the doubleheader, 5 on the year, and 13 RBI for the designated hitter in this contest, as he's going to take this one knee high and on the inside corner for a called strike, 1-1. Vaughn, along with Bryson Stott, who did not get the start in the second game, and Mason Fioli will leave for Team USA. And in what could be his final plate appearance, he's going to take one right on the hip and throws his equipment and bat in disgust as he is hit by a pitch and walked down to first base with 1 out.
He really did not seem happy after Sam Kessler's pitch came in and got him.
Andrew Vaughn, always a man for the moment, was upset last night when it looked like what was his last plate appearance for the Gatemen at Spillane Field ended in a walk. Same thing here today. We're going to have a meeting on the mound. It looks like we're going to have a pitching change here from Red Wilson Field. We're going to give you that new pitcher for the Red Sox after this commercial break.
Wareham House of Pizza has been serving Wareham and Marion for over 40 years with steak and cheese, pizza, and subs. Located in Shaw's Plaza, head on over for pickup or let them deliver to you.
The 80 Makepeace Company also owns and operates Reed Custom Soils, the area's leading manufacturer of custom soils, including CU structural soil and Rooflight certified green roof media. Reed Custom Soils is also a manufacturer and distributor of baseball infield mix and conditioners. To learn more, visit 80makepeace.com or reedcustomsoils.com.
Northeast Maritime Institute's College of Maritime Science is a proud sponsor of the Wareham Gatemen. If you're looking for a career at sea, look to NMI's program of education, adventure, and employment on northeastmaritime.com, America's premier 2-year maritime college.
Back here in the top of the 6th with 1 out and Andrew Vaughn, a victim of a hit by pitch on at first base. Pitching change for the Red Sox. Lefty Tristan Baker will come in. The Catamount of Western Carolina has appeared in 3 games this year, a 2.25 ERA. Has struck out 10 in 8 innings pitched. His last appearance was June 19th at Brewster, in which he pitched 2 innings and only gave up a run on 4 hits, in what resulted in a 4-4 tie. A couple of lefties coming up for the Gatemen. First one to deal with for Baker is Bryant Packard, who his last time up homered out to right field back in the 4th inning. That put the Gatemen up 1-0. 2-0 is where we stand right now. A solo shot by Parker Phillips put us there as well. So the lefty Packard up, the lefty Austin Shenton stands on deck with 1 out and a man on first. Baker's first pitch to Packard is going to be flied out to left field, and coming in is Reese Albert, 1 pitch, 1 out. And Western Carolina gets the best of East Carolina there, and there's 2 gone here in the top of the 6th.
Ah, the directional Carolinas. Always got to love it.
The outskirts of Tobacco Road, you might say. Austin Shenton will come up with 2 outs and a man on first base. Shenton has reached base twice today in the second game of the doubleheader. Takes the first pitch up high for ball one. He walked back in the second and then singled and advanced to second base on an error by the shortstop back in the fourth. Here's the 1-0 to him. This one going to miss up and away once again. And Shenton is ahead of the count, 2 balls and no strikes. Getting that average back up over 400 today. The 2-for-3 game in the first contest played today between these two teams. 2-0 is going to catch the outside corner for a called strike. So Baker trying to battle back in the count, now has it at 2 balls and a strike. Baker's 2-1 not to be made just yet as they throw over, and walking back to first base is Andrew Vaughn without much of a lead. Michael Lamdidis, the catcher, stands on deck. See if Austin Shenton is able to keep this inning going. 2 outs. 2-1 comes home this time and is going to miss low and in the dirt. So count now runs further in Shenton's favor. 3 balls and 1 strike to the Gatemen third baseman. Here is the 3-1. Well out in front of it, and a swing and a miss and a pitch down low and away for Shenton. And that makes the count full. 3-2, 2 outs. Andrew Vaughn standing at first base after he was hit by the pitch. It was the last one delivered by Kessler. Time is granted here to Shenton, who steps in and looks to keep the top half of the 6th inning moving along. Here's the payoff pitch from Baker. On the inside corner, a called strike 3, ring up Shenton looking, and the Gatemen will leave 1 aboard here in the top of the 6th, but lead 2-0 here on the Gatemen Baseball Network. We're going to send it down for a quick break, and then we'll have Henrique Demore with our look around the Cape League after this.
The Beach House Grill at Chatham Bars Inn Resort and Spa is the perfect spot for a seaside lunch or evening clam bake. A proud member of leading hotels of the world.
Welcome back. My name's Henrique Demore. Welcome back. My name's Henrique Demore here at Red Wilson Field, giving you the look around the Cape. Cotuit and Chatham. Cotuit, last we checked in, that game was knotted at 1, not anymore. Cotuit took it 6-1 to take game 1 against Chatham. Bo Brundage as well as Zach Bierman, 2 RBIs apiece. For Bourne and Harwich playing probably the 2 quickest games in doubleheader history. Harwich took game 1 1-0 in an hour 29. In the bottom of the 6th inning, Harwich led it 1-0 at one point, but the Bourne Braves answer back. Chase Murray scores on a wild pitch. Hyannis and Orleans knotted at 1 apiece, and Cotuit and Chatham getting going with game 2 at 8 o'clock. Falmouth swept the Brewster Whitecaps to not only put a halt to their losing streak, but start a winning streak of their own. As we mentioned, Hyannis took game 1 over Orleans 7-3. Game 2 knotted at 1, and Wareham here ahead of Yarmouth-Dennis 2-0, looking to sweep and push their record to 10-4 on the year. Thank you so much. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Henrique. Another great look around the Cape League on doubleheader Sunday. And we do have a pitching change here, which is brought to you by the Bay Point Country Club on Set's 18-hole championship golf course. With a driving range open 7 days a week and senior discounts offered every day and always welcome to the public. So get to the point. It's going to be Brendan White from Siena who will come in. Right-hander will relieve Will Proctor, who in his first start of the year was magnificent. 5 shutout innings in which he struck out 3 Red Sox along the way, as only gave up 3 hits.
The remaining numbers will be announced next half inning.
So for White, it'll be the top of the order for YD. Zach Ashford, Christian Koss, and Andrew Dasbach get things going in what is a 2-0 game in favor of Wareham here in the Gatemen Baseball Network. Alongside me, J.D. Rachi. I'm Cameron Stewart. So White comes into the game, and out of relief this year White with a 1-0 record and a 6.75 ERA. In 4 innings pitched in his 3 appearances. He has given up 3 earned runs and has struck out 5. Ashford going to step in, the lefty, who represents the leadoff man not only in the order but in the bottom half of the 6th inning, as the Red Sox look to keep this game going here as it's 2-0. They are trailing. First pitch in there is going to be a called strike on the outside corner to Ashford. He's behind in the count, no balls and a strike. He's 0 for 2 today. He struck out looking to start the game against Will Proctor back in the first. Also lined out to Austin Shenton, and he's going to line this one past the outstretched glove of Parker Phillips, diving at first base. And it's a pull single to get things started in the 6th inning for Zach Ashford and the Red Sox.
Number 4, Christian Koss.
So Christian Koss will now come on, the anteater from UC Irvine. Right-hander will come up with nobody out and a man on first. Coming into today, he was 6 for 15 in his 6 games with the Red Sox, a .400 average. No homers, but 5 RBI. This one ramps up high. Amdita snags it. And White falls behind in the count, 1-0. White came into the game on Friday night against Orleans and shut the door on a miserable night from Eldridge Park for the Gatemen, as this one is going to be fouled straight back and out of play. That game 10-3 in favor of the Firebirds. The Gatemen bounce back, won last night in walk-off fashion against the Brewster Whitecaps. Brian Packard, the walk-off single in the 10th inning, and winning the first game of the doubleheader today, up 2-0 in the second. This one going to be fouled straight back from Koss, and he's now behind in the count, 1-2. Just a .287 average for the Anteaters on the year. 1 homer, 17 RBI. Got on base at a .343 clip. 1-2 home to him is going to be fouled in the backstop. And that's where the count's going to hold at 1-2. The sun has poked its way out just enough here in the second game. We've had some spots with it, but a still overcast day under Red Wilson Field with no lights. Pitch is going to bounce to the plate, and going down to second easily is going to be Zach Ashford, who got a great jump on Brendan White. And as the count runs to 2-2, the Red Sox now have a man in scoring position.
And it eliminates the double play possibility. Always a benefit of stealing a base. And not only was it a good jump from Zach Ashford, it was a great pitch to run on. Ball in the dirt would have been a very tough play for Amditas.
This one going to be bounced on the ground to third. Shenton takes it off a couple of hops on the lip of the grass, and a slide head first into first base is not going to benefit Koss, as he was already out by a step. 5-3 on the putout. Man has to stay at second base.
The first baseman.
That's the kind of out you want to produce there.
44, Andrew.
Ground ball to the left side of the infield. To the right side, you might be taken off, but to the left side, Shenton looks him back. Runner stays at second base.
So with that man at second, Andrew Dashbach, the first baseman, will step up to the plate. Big hulking right-hander. He's 0 for 1 today. Takes the first pitch in there for a called strike on the outside corner, 0-1. He struck out swinging against Proctor in the first. Was hit by Proctor on the first pitch he saw in the 4th inning. Now we'll face Brendan White for the first time. 0-1 home. It's going to bounce well in front of the plate just as the grass meets the dirt in front of home and blocked by the chest protector of Michael Amditas. No advance for the runner at second. Count now stands at 1-1 with 1 out.
Both Amditas and Luke Roscom in Game 1 have played excellent defensively behind home plate.
1-1 home. Another nice play by Amditas. He blocks it with the chest once again. Picks up the ball and stares down Zach Ashford at second base as he scampers back in there. Gatemen being out-hit now, as that was the 4th hit for the Red Sox of the game. It's 4-3 in their favor. But YD down 2-0 on the scoreboard. This one going to ramp up high after a couple pitches down low in the dirt. After a first pitch strike, it's 3 straight balls to Dashbach, who finds himself ahead of the count 3-1. Three-one home. Inside, it will miss, and Dashbach will go down to first base, seeing ball 4. And with 1 out, White has put 2 men on base. The single by Ashford, and now the walk to Dashbach. There's 2 men on. The tying run at first base here in the bottom of the 6th inning.
I don't hate the walk here from the right-hander on the mound, Brendan White, because it does create a double play opportunity.
And now Quinn Cotton is going to come up to the plate, but Jim Lawler calls for Michael Amditas to come out and talk to his pitcher, Brendan White, who has 2 men on board now in the bottom half of the 6th inning, and only 1 out.
Looks like they may be buying some time here for the pitcher in the bullpen to finish his warm-up tosses.
Certainly looks like it, as you said, right on the button, as Jim Lawler's going to come out and make a change. We will have that new pitcher for you when we come back here on the Gatemen Baseball Network. Wareham's still up 2-0 here in the bottom of the 6th.
One of the area's best restaurants is located right up the street, Brewfish Bar and Eatery. Stop by for a nice lunch or a relaxing dinner. Brewfish offers 20 rotating craft beers on tap and creative pub foods such as fish and chips, sticky ribs, pulled pork, delicious burgers, and pizza. Check out their off-the-menu brunch with a Bloody Mary bar and $5 mimosas on Sundays. The Brewfish Beer Garden is now open for outdoor dining under the tent and casual dining and drinks at the outdoor bar, along with live music on Friday and Saturday nights as well as Sunday afternoons outside. Brewfish Bar and Eatery is located on Route 105 in Marion.
Beat the heat and join us at Waterwiz, a water experience unlike any other this side of the bridge. Open daily, head over to the water park on Route 28, the Cranberry Highway. Red Shirt Fridays is a national program created to acknowledge, honor, and support our troops who put themselves in harm's way to defend our freedom. In support of this program, the Cape League teams will be wearing a specially designed red jersey every Friday. This special weekly celebration of Red Shirt Fridays is sponsored by 47 Brand, HP Hood, Cape Cod Regional Transit Authority, Advanced Embroidery, and the Cape League. Support our troops and join us by wearing red each Friday.
Back here for the bottom of the 6th, a couple men on for the Red Sox tying runs on base. And we do have a pitching change from Red Wilson Field, which is once again brought to you by the Bay Point Country Club on Set's 18-hole championship golf course. With a driving range open 7 days a week and senior discounts offered every day, and always welcome to the public, so get to the point. It's a man we saw warming up when Cody Carroll was on the mound in Game 1. It's Tyler Kaiser who will come in for the Gatemen. Guy who will be transferring to the University of Miami this year. Comes in and has been steady for the Gatemen this year. 0-1 is the record, though, with a 2.08 ERA. In his 4 games, he has made a save and has struck out 8 in 4 1/3 innings pitched for Wareham on the summer. He will come in and face the dangerous cleanup man, the designated hitter Quinn Cotton, who is 0 for 2 but has hit a couple balls hard. And he's got runners at first and second, protecting a 2-0 lead. For Cotton, he's hit .324 on the summer. A couple of doubles, a triple, and 5 RBI. A guy who hit almost 400 on the regular season for Grand Canyon. First pitch to him is going to ramp up high and inside. And Kaiser falls behind in the count, 1-0.
Talk about Grand Canyon. Enrique and I talked about the Utah Utes and how silly of a mascot that is for Oliver Dunn. Grand Canyon might have one of my favorite mascots, the Lopes, short for antelopes, Grand Canyon Lopes out in Arizona.
It's not something you're going to see mixed up with another team. You got to give them that.
Yeah, it's unique. That's what I like about it. Granted, you won't have the Utah Utes messed up with anybody else, but I still like this one better.
Count is now 1-0 to Quinn Cotton as Kaiser stepped off before the last pitch. And is going to pound that one in there for a called strike on the outside corner. Count evens at 1-1. The Utes, while a tribal name, not something that's too creative, is it? You certainly know who you're playing if it's the Utes.
You do.
Unless, of course, you're watching my cousin Vinny. 1-1 is the count. Kaiser's pitch is going to miss outside. Amditas comes in out of his crouch to get it. Will stare both runners back to their bases. And now with the man on second, Ryan Kreidler, the shortstop, going to talk on the mound with Kaiser. Maybe he sees that man at second, Zach Ashford, peeking in at the signs. Kaiser looks in. He's behind in the count, 2-1. The offering to Cotton. Up and away. Amditas has to come up again, and he will come out to talk to Kaiser as he has fallen behind the dangerous Quinn Cotton, 3-1, and in danger of loading the bases here, protecting a 2-0 lead.
That's certainly not what you want to do here. 1 out, all you got to do is just get a ground ball. Ground ball would work wonders here for the Gatemen.
Kaiser's going to have to deliver a good pitch, though, as Cotton is certainly looking one pitch, one location with 3-1, and Kaiser struggling. He finds his pitch and is going to loop it into right field, a base hit. It's going to get down. 1 run is going to score. They're going to stop the man Dashbach at third, but coming in to score from second is Zach Ashford, and it's an RBI single for Quinn Cotton, and the Gatemen lead is cut in half. It's 2-1 here. And the tying run is at third base in the bottom of the 6th.
The left fielder.
Well, that is not a ground ball. That is not what you want if you're the Gatemen. Just left a pitch up. Cotton handled it easily into right field. Now we're going to have a pinch runner at third base.
Looks like number 5, Matthew Dyer, is going to come on to run for Dashbach at third.
Number 5, Matthew.
And now it's going to be Reese Albert, the left fielder, who will come up. The lefty does have a hit today. Singled his last time up in the 4th, 1 for 2. Another hit here would tie things up in the 6th inning of 7 that we play in Cape League doubleheaders. Throw over to first, but diving back in there safely is Cotton. Let's see with the lefty at the plate if Kaiser is able to bear down this time and get that ground ball, which would end the inning and limit any more damage that comes through. First offering to Albert is going to be swung on. This one's not on the ground, and it's very deep to center field. Hunter looking up. It's going to bounce off the top of the wall and gone. A home run for Reese Albert, a 3-run jack. They were down 2-0 a moment ago. It's now 4-2 Red Sox here from Red Wilson Field.
Not what you want to see if you're Tyler Kaiser. Again, elevated pitch up in the zone. And when you give those to good hitters, and Reese Albert is a good hitter, they're going to hit it a long way. They're going to hit it on the screws.
First real sign of trouble we've seen from Kaiser this season. He's looked so solid, but leaves that one up for the first homer of the year for Reese Albert. And it was definitely going to get down for extra bases, but just clanking off the yellow top of the chain-linked fence for a 3-run homer. And the inning started at 2-0, but a 4 spot for the Red Sox in the bottom of the 6th has them up 2. 1-0 is going to miss inside to Johnny DeLuca. The count now runs to 2 balls and no strikes.
Got to settle in here if you're Kaiser. Do something. Take a deep breath. Just throw your pitches.
This one going to clip the inside corner for a called strike, so count now goes to 2-1. And we did hear Don Sneddon talk to our Mary Orders and say 2-0 is not going to be enough. A couple of solo homers for the Gatemen. He said specifically in this park that wasn't going to be enough, as this pitch misses outside to run it to 3-1. And that was certainly some home field advantage for the Red Sox, as it's not a deep center field. 3-1 home is going to be cut on and missed on an elevated fastball, so the count runs full. It's just 352 to straightaway center, and is just able to sneak over the wall. Here's the full count offering to DeLuca. Going to be fouled straight back, so that's where the count will stay. And now the Gatemen will come up in the 7th after the final out is recorded here with their last at-bats. They will have 6, 7, and 8 due up, Amditas, Phillips, and Kreidler. In their half of the 7th, this one going to miss outside. So after working it from 3-0 to 3-2, Kaiser loses him, and another man reaches base this inning. And because of that, we're going to see Jim Lawler come out with another pitching change. So we're going to have a call to the bullpen. We'll give you that new pitcher for the Gatemen when we come back here on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
For a nostalgic Cape Cod vacation experience, head to Bay Motor Inn, where guests are treated like family. Located in the heart of Buzzards Bay Village, this 1950-style cottage colony still provides you with up-to-date amenities. The Gatemen thank the Bay Motor Inn for their support.
Red Shirt Fridays is a national program created to acknowledge, honor, and support
Located along the Cape Cod Canal, Keystone Place at Buzzards Bay is the area's newest rental independent living, assisted living, and memory care community. With some of the area's largest apartments and an ultra-inclusive monthly service package, Keystone Place is a life-fulfilling retirement community unlike any other. Distinct assisted living and memory care programs provide personal care services according to each individual's needs. Discover Keystone Place, the best option for meeting the care and support needs of seniors on Cape Cod.
Clobbered high and deep to right center field, and this one is gone, a home run.
Eastern Propane and Oil is the Wareham Gatemen home run sponsor. Each time a home run is hit by a Gatemen player, Eastern Propane and Oil donates a camp scholarship to a deserving youth. Eastern Propane and Oil, we're in your neighborhood.
As we continue an arduous bottom of the 6th inning, we have another pitching change, which is brought to you by the Bay Point Country Club on Set's 18-hole championship golf course, with a driving range open 7 days a week and senior discounts offered every day, and always welcome to the public. So get to the point. It's the man who homered in the first game, Lyle Lockhart, the Houston Cougar from Friendswood, Texas, will come in his second appearance of the year out of the bullpen, and the first one was definitely one to forget. In a third of an inning on Friday against the Orleans Firebirds, he gave up 4 runs, which set his ERA to a hearty 108 even. Certainly don't expect that to keep up, but he comes in with an inherited runner, and he finds himself and his team trailing 4-2 in the blink of an eye. Adam Kerner, the catcher, will step in and be the first man to face Lockhart, who is the only lefty still in the Gatemen bullpen, so that's why we saw him the other night, you figure, but 2 righties sandwich a lefty as the next 3 expected if they are to get there. There is 1 out for the Red Sox in the inning. Pickoff throw over is going to get there on a hop to Phillips, who keeps it in front of him. And getting in there safely without a slide is Johnny DeLuca, who walked, was the last hitter faced by Tyler Kaiser. Nightfall is starting to come over Red Wilson Field, which, as we mentioned, one of 3 ballparks in the league without any lights here in the Cape, as this one is going to ramp up high on the pickoff throw. So still no offering made to Kerner. And the Red Sox might be fortuitous for them to get out of this inning if it keeps getting darker and darker. If we do have to call a game because of no lights, the score will be reverted to what it was before this full inning. So it would be 2-0 Gatemen, as Lockhart drops one in on the inside corner for a called strike, 0-1.
It's starting to get dark here at Red Wilson Field.
You can see the lights on the scoreboard becoming more and more prominent. Scoreboard that the Red Sox have lit up in this inning for 4. As Kerner swings and misses at an elevated fastball from Lockhart. He's behind the count 0-2. One out, a man on first is Johnny DeLuca, who leads in what is now a 4-2 ball game in favor of Yarmouth-Dennis. Another throw over is looped into first. Getting back there safely is DeLuca. Kerner, who's already 0 for 2 today, will fall behind in the count 0-2. Here's the offering home. It's going to be fouled off to the right above us and out of play into the parking lot here at YD Regional High School. Excuse me, DY Regional High School.
Of course, everything's got to be the opposite.
If you're from around here, you'll know everything else that has to do with these two towns is Dennis-Yarmouth. But when it comes to their Red Sox, it has to be Yarmouth-Dennis. The 0-2 once again from Lockhart is just going to miss a bit up high above the belt of Kerner, and that'll make the count 1-2. The name YD was plastered all over the Cape League from 2014 to 2016. A three-peat, 3 straight league championships for the Red Sox before the Brewster Whitecaps earned their second title in 2017. This one's going to be fouled to the chain-linked fence behind home plate, straight back. Count going to stay at 1-2. Don Snedden liking where Lyle Lockhart was able to locate that pitch, something he had some struggles with on Friday night against Orleans. Was missing pitches up in the zone to good hitters, and they knocked him around pretty good. Lefty Lockhart looks in. Couple looks over to first base. Here's the 1-2 home. Runner goes. Kerner swings, and it's into center field and back, and ranging and a slide on a backhanded catch by Skylar Hunter. May have actually just lost his footing there. He was able to go all the way back, and I think he was maybe trying to catch the runner doubled up, but he makes a fantastic catch, robbing Kerner of extra bases. And getting back to first base is DeLuca, and there's now 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th.
From Georgia Tech.
Skylar Hunter continues to impress in center field. He's made a number of fantastic plays today for the Gatemen. He will likely become the everyday, and really has been the everyday center fielder, especially if he can get his bat going. That's been the biggest problem with Hunter this year.
Runner going to go again. DeLuca, almost a pitch out there from Lockhart, and the throw down is going to get him. A pitch out and away. Amditas out of the crouch immediately and guns him down at second base. And that's how the long bottom of the 6th will end. But YD adds 4 and takes the lead. 4-2 Red Sox as we head to the top of the 7th here on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
The Gatemen would like to thank Wareham Country Market for helping to feed the Gatemen players and staff after games. They are located about a quarter of a mile from the field on Route 6, offering a convenience store, a Dunkin' Donuts, and a deli. At the intersection of Route 195 and 28, Wareham Crossing, home of Lowe's, Target, and Red Robin, is the sponsor of the Gatemen Intern Program. They help to provide a world-class internship experience in broadcasting, marketing, sports management, and baseball operations. Check out Wareham Crossing's schedule for this year's Summer Movie Night Series.
Make sure you sign your child up today for the Gatemen Robertson's GMC Youth Clinics. This year we have 5 one-week sessions for children 5 to 14. We also have 2 special sessions for hitting and pitching open to teens. Registration is available online at gatemen.org or through forms available at the merchandise booth.
To the top of the 7th inning we go. 4-2 is our score. Gatemen, who took game 1 of the doubleheader, will look to battle back and tie things up at least here in the top half of the 7th, which is our last inning, our last full inning here on a doubleheader in the Cape League. 6, 7, and 8 due up. Michael Amditas, the catcher, Parker Phillips, who has already homered today, the first baseman, bats 7th, and behind him, Ryan Kreidler, the shortstop, against Tristan Baker, who is in for his second inning of relief. Now finds himself pitching with a lead. Left-hander able to come in after a long bottom of the 6th inning. We're going to roll with him anyway and try to shut the door on the Gatemen and split a doubleheader. Amditas first pitch swinging, and this is going to find its way on the ground and through the hole into left field for a base hit. So Michael Amditas, with his first hit of the day, is able to reach, and the leadoff man is on for the Gatemen in the 7th.
That's the way to start it. You're trying to make a comeback here. Top of the 7th inning. And you got a big bopper, and Parker Phillips coming to the plate already with a home run today.
Phillips, a second one would tie things up. But he's just looking to get on base, you got to assume, as this is a high fastball that he goes around on, and he knew it. And the check swing, he's behind in the count, 0-1. Ryan Kreidler on deck, and would get to Skylar Hunter if anything were to happen after that. On a spectacularly gray Cape League day, the 0-1 home is going to miss on the inside corner. Not a bad looking pitch, but it's a bit too far inside to the right-handed hitting Parker Phillips. And the count is now at a ball and a strike. Popped up foul in the 2nd inning to the first baseman, but as JD mentioned, the long homer in the 5th, that still may not have come down, as this one is going to run outside, and Phillips ahead of the count, 2-1. And we are going to have time called as we're going to have a pinch runner at first base. Michael Amditas' day is done, and Isaac Collins, the middle infielder from Creighton, will see his first action in the doubleheader, will come on to run at first.
It's the perfect situation to bring Collins in. He and Hunter, the 2 fastest players on this team. So you put some speed on the base paths.
And this one is going to run inside to Phillips, but he ducks out of the way and takes a called strike. So that one gets just enough of the corner. The count evens at 2 balls and 2 strikes with nobody out and a man on first, and now Isaac Collins. The 2-2 to Phillips. Swung on and fouled off to the right, and this one will get out of play. So the count remains at 2-2. Look towards first base, the 2-2 home. On the outside corner, a called strike 3. And Phillips, who does not look happy with that call, is going to go down looking for the first out of the 7th.
Number 5, Ryan Kreidler.
That one from our vantage point definitely looked outside.
Second pitch that kind of seemed off the plate, off the strike zone. He's from our vantage point on the third base side of the home plate. So got to do what you got to do if you're Parker Phillips and protect the plate. Decided not to swing there, and it cost him.
First pitch is undoubtedly up high to Ryan Kreidler, shortstop today, batting right from UCLA. Ahead of the count, 1 ball, no strikes. The wind starts to pick up here at Red Wilson Field, and this one, same spot, missing up high, and Kreidler ahead of the count, 2-0. Got to figure with some close calls in this inning, for better or for worse, and for both teams with the dark rolling in, this game would be beneficial to be sped up here, as the pickoff throw is not going to be in time for Isaac Collins. He gets back in there safely. One out, a man on first, the 2-0. Big swing and a miss on a pitch outside to Ryan Kreidler. Baker gets one back. It's now 2 balls and a strike.
Just geared up and blew the fastball straight by him. Big swing and a miss from Kreidler.
Baker looks in, 2-1, gonna miss down low and away. So the count now runs to 3-1 in Kreidler's favor, who represents the tying run here in the top of the 7th in a 4-2 ball game. Look in, the 3-1 home. Gonna be popped up, foul ground, but will range out of play. And so that runs the count full to 3-2. Skylar Hunter waiting on deck. Switch hitter will be batting right if Baker is to stay in the game, and no one warming up for YD, so that seems to be the case. Here's the full count offering. So I'm going to ramp up high, so down to first base goes Ryan Kreidler, representing the tying run with a 1-out walk, and because he's able to reach base, Skylar Hunter will be sent back to the dugout, and Drew Millis will come in to pinch hit. So 2 men on, runners at first and second with 1 out. And the catcher from Missouri State, Andrew Millis, will get his first cuts of the doubleheader. Close the book on Skylar Hunter, who was 0 for 2 today. He grounded out to short and flew out to third base. Millis, another switch hitter, he will bat right. First offering to him is going to be up and away, missing for ball 1, 1-0 is the count. He's going to catch the outside corner for a called strike, evens things at 1-1. Millis this year, just a 190 batting average. Of his 4 hits, he has 4 singles and has walked 4 times. He's yet to bring in an RBI. Here's the 1-1. In up on the chest of Millis and running inside for ball 2, so he is ahead of the count, 2 balls and a strike. The 2-1 home. Millis going to pop it up right in front of us and in front of the protective netting and slamming into the protective fencing in front of the Gatemen dugout is the catcher, Kerner. He's unable to come up with it. And he just went absolutely full force into that thing.
Jeez. I wonder what Don Sneddon and Jim Lawler are thinking over there. Sneddon's not going to sit on the bucket anymore after that.
He backs off. A couple of the young bat boys back off too. Kerner just no sight for what was in front of him, totally focused on the ball.
Complete disregard for his own physical well-being.
Just wanted to make that second out and get 1 step closer to splitting the doubleheader. It's 2-2 to Drew Millis. Here's the offering. Going to be fisted on the ground at third. Martinez looking to second for 1. He gets the out there. But throw on to first will not be made. So a fielder's choice, mark him out at second. But Millis is able to reach first base, and there are runners at the corners with 2 outs in the 7th.
The right fielder from UCLA.
Very close to not even completing out number 1 on the throw to the second baseman, Koss. He lost it on the transfer. Ball popped out of his glove, but our base umpire says that it was indeed on the transfer, so now it's the top of the order. Jeremy Idens has to deliver here.
Idens has not been much for delivering today. 0 for 3, 3 swinging strikeouts. And he fouls the first pitch out behind home plate, so he's behind in the count once again, 0-1. Runners at first and third, 2 outs in the last inning, the top of the 7th. Gatemen trailing 2. A step off and a pickoff throw over to first base. Diving back in there safely is Millis, who was not the typical build of your catcher, tall and lanky, so not quite as slow as some of the other catchers you'll see on any roster. See if anything's on for him here. The Red Sox certainly think there might be something, as another pickoff throw is going to be too late. The 0-1 home to Idens is going to be up the middle, off the pitcher's mound. Going to be a tough play, and there's going to be no play as he will reach first base. Koss can't get it over there in time, and trotting home is Isaac Collins, and things are still moving along in YD. It's now 4-3 in the 7th.
Well, much like in the early part of Game 1, it's sometimes better to be lucky than good. Big bounce off the mound.
Now batting for the Gatemen.
Now Oliver Dunn going to come in and pinch run for Drew Millis at second. Zahid Valenzuela at the plate. If he puts one into the outfield, we could have ourselves a tie ball game.
Valenzuela up now. And what would certainly be poetry if he's able to get on. Andrew Vaughn stands in the on-deck circle in his last game as a Wareham Gateman. But first, it's Zahid Valenzuela with men at first and second and 2 out. First pitch is going to run inside and low. Blocking it is Kerner. So no advance for the runners. It's done at second. Idens at first with 2 gone. Here's the 1-0. Valenzuela going to foul it off his own shin there, it looked like. And the count will even at a ball and a strike. Valenzuela's hitless today. He reached on an error back in the first inning. Then grounded out to third and flew out to left field in his 2 at-bats succeeding that. He's going to take a big cut and a miss on a pitch on the outside corner. It's the Gatemen down to their final strike as Valenzuela is down in the count 1-2. Runners lead off first and second. 2 outs in the 7th. The 1-2. Going to be connected on a ball to right center field, and this one is going to be tracked down and caught in center field by Zach Ashford. It had a shot to get down, but the Gatemen, for the second time in 4 nights, will leave the tying run on in scoring position to end the ball game. They split the doubleheader with the Red Sox as YD comes back to win Game 2 4-3. Gatemen dropped to 9-5 on the year. They split it today on Sunday. Day off tomorrow for the Gatemen before they go to Hyannis on Tuesday to take on the Harbor Hawks. Thank you for joining us today. We're going to have our post-game coming up with Enrique Demore in just a minute after these messages here on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Established in 1877, TM Ryder is a family-run insurance agency located in downtown Middleborough, Massachusetts. TM Ryder's goal is to find the best coverage at a fair rate for their customers, but they really value giving the best service they can provide. Visit the office on Thatcher's Row if you would like P&C insurance information, quotes, and policies.
Gatemen Baseball is officially sponsored by Robertson's GMC, the truck professionals. Located just 2 miles away on Cranberry Highway, we are proud to sponsor the Gatemen Youth Clinic for 2018. Robertson's GMC. We are professional grade. Power like a pro. Gatemen Baseball is officially sponsored by
Welcome back to Red Wilson Field. Tough one today for the Gatemen as they split the doubleheader with YD. Gatemen dropped to 9-5 on the year. YD lifts back up to 6-5-2 on the season at Red Wilson. The Gatemen had the lead going into the bottom of the 6th inning, but then a YD 4 spot off 3 different pitchers: Brendan White, Tyler Kaiser, and Lyle Lockhart Jr., who Lockhart, to his credit, had 1 out to work with, and he got a fly out to center field to end the threat. Gatemen almost came back with some more late-inning heroics in this one, but too little too late. They scratched one across in the 7th to make it 4-3, but 3 hits, 5 runs, no errors on the day for your Gatemen. 4 runs, 6 hits, 2 errors on the day for the Red Sox. I should say on the game. A little bit of everybody for today. Today for the Gatemen. Isaac Collins came in to score that last run on the Michael Amditas single. That put him on. Bryant Packard with a solo shot. That was good to see. And Parker Phillips as well with a solo home run. Both good to see power out of guys that we hadn't seen so far that had been touted as powerful guys, big, booming bats, but nothing to show for it home run-wise so far until today. A couple solo shots over a short porch here at Red Wilson Field. That's got to feel good. If nothing else, it bodes well for when Andrew Vaughn and Bryson Stott take off for Team USA. This is the last you saw of them, folks. Hope you enjoyed it. It's once-in-a-generation talent for Andrew Vaughn and Bryson Stott. They put together quite a career here in their short time on the Cape before they're going to head off to play for Team USA, for the Team USA collegiate team, represent their country as they continue their summer. Technically, they could come back to Wareham for a little more Cape League action, but that remains to be seen. Depends how deep the Gatemen go. Depends if they want to come back or if their college coaches allow them to, et cetera, et cetera. Either way, let's get into the pitching side of things. For YD, Tommy Henry of Michigan, pretty good outing for him. 3 strikeouts, 1 walk, gave up 1 earned run on that solo shot by Bryant Packard through 4 innings of work. Sam Kessler came in relief from West Virginia. Pair of strikeouts, one given up by Parker Phillips. That solo shot as well. And Tristan Baker closed it out. He gave up 1 earned run from Western Carolina on the Michael Amditas single. Came around to score on the Jeremy Iden's RBI single. He snapped an 0 for 3 to go 1 for 4, and the day pretty nicely for the right fielder from UCLA. On our side of things, Will Proctor, heck of a start from him. His first start after bouncing back from a tough one in Bourne to pick up the loss in an inning of work. 3 strikeouts, no earned runs, no walks, just 3 hits over 5 innings of work. The sophomore from Georgia looked darn good today, but the bullpen melted down for the Gatemen a little bit. Brendan White and Tyler Kaiser just could not get it going. Tyler Kaiser going through a little bit of a slump here after his first 2 outings were absolutely electric out of the bullpen. He was a strikeout machine. Kaiser gave up 2 earned runs on 2 hits, no walks, no strikeouts for the future Miami Hurricane. Lyle Lockhart Jr., the scapegoat in the 10-3 loss to Orleans a few days ago, came in and shut it down, got the threat under control. The Gatemen, like I said, tried to bounce back, but could not do it. Little too late. Jeremy Idens delivered the RBI single, but all for naught as they split the doubleheader here, like I said. Wareham moving to 9-5 on the year. YD moving up to 6-5-2 on the year for the team from South Yarmouth. An off day tomorrow for both teams, well-deserved, before we're back on Tuesday with more action from the Cape. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll have post-game interviews for you when we come back on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Legacy Insurance Agency at 213 Main Street here in Wareham can offer you coverage for all your insurance needs. We have the bundle discounts, the accident forgiveness, the vanishing deductible, no loss, etc. But unlike those other gimmick companies, we can quote you with multiple carriers. So forget the lizard and the price tool and come talk to a professional. We'll help you find what's right for you.
The Gateway Tavern, located on Marion Road in Wareham, offers an extensive but not exhaustive array of menu choices. They search for the finest in foods, ranging from garden fresh produce to hand-selected seafood, and have special menus that change daily. The Gateway Tavern is proud to be the official helmet of the Wareham Gatemen.
Shop from home year-round on Gatemen.org. You can customize your Gatemen gear from any device, anywhere. We offer a large selection of apparel and unique gifts 24/7, 365. Hard to find sizes, colors, and styles. Youth Clinic registration is also available. Visit us today and remember us for holiday gifts at Gatemen.org.
At E.L. Morse Lumber, commitment to the customer shines through in every aspect of their daily operations, including their competitive prices, complete product selection, and superior customer care. Visit E.L. Morse Lumber, located on Cranberry Highway in Wareham, for service with a personal touch.
Cape Cod Healthcare is the leading provider of healthcare services for residents and visitors of Cape Cod, Gatemen gear from any device, anywhere. More than 450 physicians. For more information, please visit CapeCodHealth.org. Cape Cod Healthcare, expert physicians, quality hospitals, superior care.
Mezzaluna is a family-run Italian restaurant celebrating 80 years
Shop
in business.
from home
Located
year-round
on Main
on
Street in Buzzards
Gatemen.
Bay, Mezzaluna specializes in Italian cuisine, a lunch menu that's the best deal in town, and serves Cape Cod's famous prime rib every Wednesday and Saturday. Come enjoy the feast at Mezzaluna, the Italian family restaurant. Mezzaluna is a family-run Italian restaurant celebrating 80 years in business. Located on Main Street in Buzzards Bay, Mezzaluna specializes in Italian cuisine, a lunch menu that's the best deal in town, and serves Cape Cod's famous prime rib every Wednesday and Saturday. Come enjoy the feast at Mezzaluna, the Italian family restaurant.
Welcome back to the Gatemen Postgame Show. My name's Enrique Demore. As promised, we got postgame interviews with a man who we're going to miss dearly, Andrew Vaughn of Cal. Had himself a heck of a doubleheader today, launched his 5th home run, 14 RBIs in an all-too-short Cape League career. Andrew, what was working for you today? What were you looking for out of the hand of Wiles in Game 1?
I'd say I was just looking for a fastball up, which I got that, and put a good swing on it. The first 2 at-bats, I was getting kind of jammed on myself, and then going up to that one, I wanted one over the plate and just to do some damage.
I got to talk to you a little bit separately. I don't know how many of the viewers saw this, but about your approach at the plate and how it's all about timing. You see it even in your takes, right? Your hands are ready to go. Can you speak a little more to that and how you learned at-bat to at-bat?
Going up to hit, I mean, I'm hitting every time, every pitch coming, I'm thinking I'm going to hit it. So at the last second, I mean, not even a second, is when I'll decide not to swing, but I'm swinging at every pitch it comes.
So your Gateman career is over for the time being. Do you think you came out here to do you think you accomplished what you came out here to accomplish before heading to Team USA?
I'd say so. I just want to come out and continue to just play baseball and have fun with it. And I had a great time out here. Really enjoyed myself and played some really good competition.
Who would you say out of the guys you met? I mean, obviously you're friends with everyone, great set of teammates here at Wareham, but who's impacted you the most in your time here?
Oh man, I couldn't pick one, to be honest. I think everybody was so great. Our coaches were awesome. Teammates were great. This was some of the best team camaraderie I've ever had, and I only met them a week ago, so it's pretty special stuff.
What are you going to miss most, do you think?
I think the baseball. I mean, this is Cape Cod baseball. It's beautiful. It's really fun to come out to the yard and lay it all on the line.
And lastly, is there anything you want to say to the listeners at home?
Oh, I just want to say this was an awesome experience, and thanks to the Gatemen for having me here.
Andrew, thank you so much for everything you've done on and off the field. You've been an absolute pleasure and a joy to watch on the field as well. Best of luck in Team USA. We're going to miss you.
I appreciate it.
For Andrew Vaughn, for everyone else involved on the broadcast, my name has been Enrique Demore. Before we sign off here, the general manager of the Wareham Gatemen is Andrew Lang. Producers of today's broadcast are Trevor Russo and Cam Gonsalves. Our sideline reporter, Mary Orders, thank you to her for all her interviews throughout the game, before and after as well. Thanks to our beat writer, Ian Becerra, for J.D. Rocci, for Cam Stewart, for myself, Enrique Demore. Thank you so much for tuning into this broadcast of Wareham Gatemen Baseball on the Gatemen Baseball Network. The next broadcast of Gatemen Baseball will be Tuesday as the Gatemen take on the Hyannis Harbor Hawks in Hyannis. First pitch at 6 o'clock, and our coverage will begin at 5:30 with Gatemen Pregame Live. For J.D. Rocci, for Cam Stewart, my name has been Enrique Demore. Thank you so much for tuning into this presentation of Wareham Gatemen Baseball on the Gatemen Baseball Network. Again, your final in Game 2 after a 10-4 victory in Game 1. The Gatemen are stifled in Game 2, 4-3 in favor of the YD Red Sox. Thanks for listening. Have a great rest of your Sunday.